hope everyone is having a good day. I'm Tarasha. Welcome to the channel. It's my favorite time of the year. It is December. It's the 3rd, and we're getting into the Christmas feel. A lot of others probably already have their Christmas tree up. A lot of people are probably just putting their Christmas tree up. I decided a couple of days ago, actually on the first, just to put the tree up. I haven't decorated it yet, which I will this weekend. But I love this time of year because ever since I've been a kid, Christmas time has been just a time to get with the family or watch Christmas movies, listen to Christmas music. And I feel like everybody today in the world, they have good memories about Christmas. They had like the first time they ever watched a Christmas movie, or the first time they ever got introduced to a new type of Christmas movie, or their favorite song, or their favorite Christmas album. It could be so many things because I also believe this time of the year is a time to reflect on what happened this past year. Because after Christmas, we're going into the new year, we're going into 2025, which is so crazy to me. But we're going into 2025 less than what, 4 to 5 weeks? And it's nuts, it's crazy. And as a person that has been like thinking about what the stuff I've been doing this past year, new things have happened. Um, I've have this channel now. I've been opening myself into new things. And this Christmas is I believe is going to have more memories. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about during this time is Christmas movies. And I'm going to give you guys just a couple of Christmas movies that are on just the top of my head, the ones that I just really love. The first one we're going to be talking about is Home Alone. Who does not like Home Alone? One of my favorite scenes is when the bandits come into the house. This is when they break in towards the end of the movie. And they break in and he puts that tarantula on one of the bandits, and the scream that came out of his body was just crazy. Every time I see that scene, I just laugh. It's just that movie is ingrained in a lot of us. Yes, and the crazy thing about it is it just had its anniversary when it got released, which was 34 years ago. Guess how old I am? I'm 34 years old. That means that it came out the year I was born. Actually, when it did come out, I was only a couple months. And I got introduced to that movie around the age of like 6 and 7, and it's one of my favorite movies. The second movie that I love is Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 is just more elevated. He's in New York. Kevin's in New York. Now, we could debate on here if you want to, if she's a bad mom or not. We can. I personally believe she's not a bad mom. I think she just made some mistakes. Some really big mistakes. Okay, I understand she got a lot of kids. I understand that. And there's basically two families living in the same house. It's crazy. There's also been debates online about what the dad do for work because he was living in that big house at the time. Um, there's a creator on social media that actually, when Kevin, I believe it's in the first film, that he goes into the grocery store and he gets what he needs or whatever, which was like milk, I think a toothpaste and toothbrush, I think, and some other things that he just needed to survive. Someone like broke down how much his grocery was then, which was the 90s, and groceries now, how much it would be. I thought that was kind of interesting too. But both of those films are just top tier to me when it comes to Christmas movies. Another movie that's very top tier to me is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas came out in 2000 and it stars Jim Carrey. It was also directed by Ron Howard, which is amazing. Okay, that movie is also another movie that is in heavily rotation during this time of year. It's funny. It has a good story. Um, the way everything, I would think everything in that movie is basically practical most of the time. Probably a lot of it was green screen too, but like a lot of it was the way they looked and stuff. Whoville, how they looked and stuff was amazing. To have it, to read Dr. Seuss books and then see it on screen of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, they did it wonderfully, I believe. Another Christmas movie that turned 20 this year was Polar Express, which also all stars Tom Hanks. Now, Tom Hanks did an amazing job in the Polar Express. I can't believe that movie turned 20 this year, but it's one of those movies that you could just sit down with your family, enjoy it into the beginning to the end. And it also has good story, good writing. It has um you could sit down and just enjoy yourself, have a cup of hot chocolate, and just have fun, right? Another Christmas movie is The Santa Claus. Now, there are three Santa Claus movies, and there's also a TV show. The first Santa Claus movie, which stars Tim Allen, I personally remember the first time I ever seen that movie, and the reason why is I was about 4 or 5 when it first came out, and my dad had this tradition for Thanksgiving and Christmas that we go and while mom is cooking dinner and stuff like that, we all went to the movie theaters and watched the popular movie that came out that year. And it was always a popular movie that came out that year. And I specifically remember um, the Santa Claus movie. The first one, what I would say if I had to rate all three, it would be the first one, the second one, and then the third one, I believe. Because the second one was so funny. The third one was also funny. But I think I'm being a little bit biased here, so y'all tell me in the comments if you rate all three of the Santa Claus movies. Tell me in the comment section which ones would you rate out of the three. The second one was him being fully, well, he was fully Santa Claus towards the end of the first one, but he's fully Santa Claus. You see him go through, life. Now he has to find a wife, Mrs. Santa Claus, and it's just like, it's just a good wholesome film, and Tim Allen does such an amazing job of just bringing that character to life. And to be honest, he does really good Christmas movies. He's done a couple of them through the years, and he's done amazing with all the ones that he has done, because it's Christmas with the Cranks is a good one too, with Jamie Lee Curtis. So, another one that comes to mind, if I really, really think about it, probably, there's a lot floating up here, by the way. um, Elf. Elf is also a good one with Will Ferrell. There's some moments, I rewatched it, and I probably would have it in very heavily rotation this year. But Elf has like certain moments in that movie. The whole movie's fantastic, but it has so many, like, you could just pick one and just I've been seeing people on TikTok just recreate some of the scenes or just use the sound. It is amazing. That movie is just amazing. Another one, I think there's so many. Um you know what? Let's talk about White Christmas. Now, there's a story behind the first time I ever seen White Christmas. Um White Christmas came out, I want to say, um, 1954. And my mom is in love with that movie, okay? It's a fantastic movie. As a kid, I did not understand it, I swear. I didn't. But the last couple of years, I've put it in my rotation of Christmas movies. I pick about 20 Christmas movies and just rotate those throughout. I'll give you the whole list right here of all 20 Christmas movies that are going to be in rotation this year, okay? I'm doing that because maybe on this list there is a Christmas movie you haven't seen yet, and I give you some ideas of some Christmas movies. But White Christmas was introduced to me at a very young age, and my mom loves the movie. She also, well, she introduced it to my sister first, and then she introduced it to me, and then she introduced it to my brother. My brother loves the movie. So do I. It's a fantastic. My sister too. We all love the movie. It's one of those movies that have great singing, great dancing, great story. Um, and I understand people, the older Christmas movies just does something to you. It puts you right into the movie, but it also puts you in the Christmas spirit. Um, that's why I love older Christmas movies that came out in the 50s or 60s or 70s, 80s, and then the 90s. There's some really good Christmas movies that come out today. But like those ones are just fantastic. Another one, we're going to talk about one more, Jingle All the Way, which has Arnold in it. And it also has Sinbad in it too. And that movie I also seen in theaters. And it's about a dad trying to find an action figure. And it's just the just to see Arnold in that kind of like way was fantastic. It's funny. It's just a really good movie. That movie will probably be in rotation too. Because I was thinking, as you guys will see the 20 movies I have in rotation, I'm still thinking about the movies I'm going to put on that list. But I really wanted to sit down with you guys and talk about just Christmas in general because, like I said, it's my favorite time of the year. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving too, which was literally what, a couple of days ago. Um, but I just Christmas is that time of year that you bake, you get in that winter like feel, you get more comfortable, you think about what you're gonna do in the next couple of months because you're going into another year. It's one of those years, one of those times that you just try to slow down and you don't miss nothing. But I hope everyone is having a really good day. Bye.